It is finally time. It is the playoffs, NBA playoffs. We've been waiting for this for a couple months, ever since we started this podcast, to be honest.
Yep.
I am your host, Jacob, here with my co host, PJ. PJ, talk to the people.
Today we have a new guest, and it's my boy from Australia. His name is Caleb.
Woo!
Hey, what's up?
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Appreciate you having me here.
What's up, man? So, just tell us where you're from. Tell us what team
Yeah,
you're repping. I see you got the jersey on.
I do. I'm, as PJ, my boy said, from Australia, from Queensland. It's a very sunny state in a city called Brizzy. I'm technically living in Vancouver, actually.
Ooh,
Here on a working holiday. So right now we're in the same time zones on the podcast. So happy to be, happy to be speaking the same time zones. But once I get back in Australia, we're going to be 17 hours ahead of you guys. So
holy.
Into the
yeah, it's
future.
That's right. Into the future. But yeah, I'm repping the Valley Boys, the Suns. I'm a big Suns fan,
Who is
and
that?
a big reason. This is Booker.
Okay.
This is Booker. But a big reason for being a Suns fan is my boy Steve Nash. So he's a Canadian. He's actually from Victoria, British Columbia. That's not
Oh,
too far
yeah.
from where we are in Vancouver.
Yep.
And I love the way Steve Nash played. He's white, unathletic, not fast, but he got it done. Two-time MVP, right? So
Hey.
that's how I envision to play if I get on the court. But yeah, repping the Suns, and happy to be in this podcast again.
Nice.
Appreciate you having me.
Of course, man. Thanks for being on. For anyone that's listening to this podcast, you know that we are big Tyrese Halliburton fans, and he's pretty much 6'5" Steve Nash that's allowed to shoot more. So, hey, man. Hey,
Absolutely.
Steve Nash is the prototype. I'm here for it. So before we get started for this playoff stuff, you gotta. I've heard you got a story about your first shoe. I'm curious about
Yes.
this.
Yeah. So first sneaker official, basically coming out of high school. My mom was watching Oprah Winfrey all the way in Australia, and Oprah Winfrey, I'm pretty sure it was her anyway. And if you guys know him, Stephon Marbury,
Right.
one of
Yes.
the one of the pioneers of street, NBA basketball, if I could say that, ankle breakers. He was making a line of shoes basically for underprivileged kids.
Oh
So they're
wow.
selling them 10 $15 a pair, US. And my mom saw that I was, getting into basketball. My auntie, who's from San Francisco, was coming to Australia soon. So she rings her up and she's like, holla, hey, Caleb's, wanting a new pair of NBA or some basketball sneakers. Stephon Marbury selling them for like 10 $15. Easy gift for him. Can you bring them back for us? She's like, oh yeah, no issues. But she no communication after that. She arrives in Australia, my auntie, and instead of $10 $15 Stephon Marbury shoes, I get these Kobe Nike Hyperdunk black and yellow shoes. Can't remember the name fully of it, but I will definitely send you guys a photo. And it's the 2008 Hyperdunk Kobe Bryant Nike shoes. Yeah.
That
I got him. I'll
crazy.
send it to Jacob.
You got okay. That is
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy. Wow, Stephen
Crazy story.
Marbury's though. I'll say I found out he's like the goat of Chinese basketball. Like they got like
He is, man.
they got like museums for that guy. They got
They
exhibits.
they they got a bigger statue than AI does, man.
Hey, thank you for bringing that up, bro. Because this is supposed to be a playoff focused episode, but it had to be mentioned.
You gotta bring
I,
that up.
I don't know what they were thinking with that one.
Oh,
That
and it's funny that it's outside the practice facility as
and they
well.
put it
That's
outside the
funny.
practice facility because they just
That's
had to
right.
they had to mess it up another way. They had to just make
Uh-huh.
it worse than it already was. So, somebody said that they had bobbleheads bigger than that statue. I was like, that is how
Speaking
could you
of
do that? He
bobbleheads,
is the
I'm
most
sure. I'm sure we'll get to it soon. But this is
Oh
this is
my
just to
god.
rile PJ out.
okay. Hey, you already know. I mean, fuck it. I guess we're getting into it. I guess we're getting into it now. All right. So the last day of the regular season was today. We have finalized these hectic ass standings of both conferences.
Mm.
The West seed has finished with OKC in first, followed by Denver in second, then Minnesota. The Clippers and Mavs have been locked into that matchup for a little bit now. Suns just beat the Timberwolves today. So they avoid the play-in. They are the sixth seed, going against the
16,
Timberwolves
baby.
in the first round.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And oh man, this just looking at this play-in is real nasty. The seventh, eighth
Really.
seed are the Pelicans and the Lakers. The Lakers just beat the Pelicans today. And then in the ninth and tenth spot, we have the most toxic, beautiful matchup I've ever seen. Kings, Warriors, life on the line. No
Or down.
elimination. No losses allowed. Uh
Mm.
okay, let's just start here. PJ, you're a Lakers fan. How are you feeling? Because I heard you had some words about uh you had a strategy about maybe you lose the first game so you don't have to play the Nuggets.
Well, true fans would say you have to win this game to be in the playoffs. I think I would want them to lose the first game and then play the NorCal teams. Just because if they played the Thunder, that's the easiest win they could have because they beat the Thunder throughout the season, and then after that they could potentially play the Clippers at home or the Mavs and not worry about the Nuggets for the first two rounds. Just diving back to the Nuggets from last year, the Lakers got swept, and they were a good team last year. But that's my strategy for the Lakers. But if they win this game now for the playing tournament, we're gonna see an early, like difficult game. I'm not. I don't want the Lakers to lose, but they might lose in six, maybe a sweep again.
Might lose in six is pretty optimistic. I'll be honest.
Super
Caleb,
optimistic.
Caleb, how you feel about this West playing bracket? Because it's pretty nasty for all teams
Yeah.
involved.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like the Warriors still slipping in. I mean, not too long ago, the Rockets had a chance of slipping in above the Warriors, so that was pretty
Yeah,
exciting. But
yeah.
how do I feel about this plan? I think the plan's going to be exciting. I'm honestly excited to
Oh
see
hell
how it,
yeah,
how it turns out. What is it? 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how it works, right? So
yeah, yeah.
we said Warriors versus Kings, and then Pels versus Lakers. Is that how that is
Yep.
that the
Yeah, you
brackets?
got it.
Yeah.
You got it. I
I
was like,
think I think it'd be very interesting for sure. I are we predicting here, or are we
hey,
just are we just
if you got a prediction, lay it on us, man. I'd love to hear it.
mm, if we're just talking exclusively West plains? I think I don't know. I don't think you'd ever count the Warriors out. Like I think Steph always
Ooh.
has some sort of. I think he has some sort of. I don't know what it is, but he'll get it
No,
going. I'm sure. So I think the Warriors will get it done against the Kings. Now Lakers versus Pels. I think the Lakers have got it.
Yeah, they
I
just beat
think
them
I
today.
think yeah. I think they'll be right.
so me personally, I'm praying the Lakers lose, but not for PJ's reason. I want to see them lose because I want them to play either the Kings or the Warriors. Because whenever
Mm,
they play those teams, those games go crazy.
true,
Because
true. You're right.
if you know about Sabonis, he hasn't lost against Anthony Davis like ever. I don't know why.
Mm,
I don't know why, but I would love to see if that curse or whatever it is,
continues.
yeah, even in the play-in. I feel like that'd be so. I would just it just the drama if the Lakers lose the first playing game against the Pelicans would just be too good. I need to
Mm-hmm.
be a part of that.
With that stat Jacob you're saying is so Sabonis never having a losing streak against Anthony Davis. That counts when Anthony Davis is injured or when he's actively playing too.
Whenever they play, I mean I'm
Mm,
gonna try to find the stats.
mm,
But I'm pretty sure that whenever they play, Sabonis always has a good game, and I mean he's 10-0 against Anthony Davis apparently. So
interesting.
of however,
Mm.
I don't know how much of it might have been I don't know something injury related, but he's he hasn't lost. I don't know what else to say. He just hasn't lost against him. I don't know how that's possible, but he hasn't. So
Interesting.
I'd be very curious to see how that would go. Uh,
Mm,
but that's for the play-in. For the team that just barely missed the play-in, your Phoenix Suns. They're now the sixth seed going against the Timberwolves. How you feel about that matchup? Because that's
Hmm.
that's a pretty nasty matchup. I won't lie to you.
To be honest, like if we rewind it a bit, I was actually the Phoenix home game when they played against the Clippers, and in the first quarter, um, the first 10 minutes, I think, or maybe 8 minutes, the Suns scored 4 points, 4 points,
Oh,
right?
right.
And oh
Yeah.
gosh, I think the score was like by the end of the first quarter, 10-36. That got me super worried. And the crazy thing is like there's a tradition it seems that the home team crowd will stand up, right, until the home team scores the first points, and we were standing for a long freaking time. So,
That's
oh gosh,
crazy.
the arena was very deflated. But back to the question, I'm happy. Obviously, they avoid play-ins, but I I've definitely got some thoughts about Frank Vogel, which we can touch on later.
Hey, talk about it now. I mean, we're talking about the Suns' playoff chances. If there was ever a time.
Frank Vogel, like I don't know, I can't remember when he actually got introduced to the Suns. Like obviously Monty Williams was before, and then we got
Yeah,
Frank Vogel, I believe, was the next.
yeah.
Um, I was chatting about with PJ before we were catching up, but I don't know. Objectively speaking, I feel like if you've got a bench that can play, like why are you not playing the bench? You know, see, I can put a screenshot of it later, but basically the Suns are coming dead last in offensive ratings for fourth quarter. And you know, it only makes sense that if you're going to play your starters for 40 minutes straight, how are you going to expect them to score 80 buckets in the fourth quarter if they're playing? You know, if Frank Vogel is a defensively minded coach, you're gassed. You can't be scoring buckets in the fourth quarter. Utilize your bench. You know, give IT some minutes.
Hey, shout out to Isaiah Thomas,
Oh,
man.
I see.
That's it, man.
For all the short kings out there, shout out to Isaiah Thomas, man.
Absolutely.
Now, the funny thing is, you're actually the second Suns fan we've had on this podcast, and he
Mm,
also didn't like Frank Vogel. I don't
mm,
know. I don't know how bad he actually is. Like, I feel like
mm,
it could get worse than Frank Vogel. Uh, but me personally, how I feel about the Suns, like I've always had them as kind of a dark horse because I've just because they have KD and Booker, and it's like if those guys just go nuclear for a series, they can beat
Oh yeah,
anybody. For one
yeah.
series,
oh yeah.
if they could for 4 games, if they go nuclear, they could beat anybody. And they almost did it against the Nuggets. They're the team that gave the Nuggets the toughest series last year for that exact reason. Um,
Yeah.
because there was like a stretch of games, I think it was the first two or whatever, where Booker and KD both shot like 70% or some shit, and it was like
Yeah.
you can't do anything about it. So that's why
That's right.
I've always had like I always have a slight belief in them, even though I know that they're a flawed team. Just because I know
Mm.
that they have the star power and shooting power to technically just outshoot any team. PJ, what do you think about the Suns? We've talked about it a few times on this podcast already.
Lay it
But
on me. Lay it
Oh
on me.
yeah.
I'm curious how you feel at this point now that they are a sixth seed and they don't have to fight through the play-in.
I kind of wanted them to be in the plan. Well, I wanted them to match up with the Nuggets.
Okay.
To be honest, like if the Nuggets were still third and the Timberwolves didn't lose today, I would have been glad for that matchup. I feel like like you said, the Suns is the closest team to beat the Nuggets. I honestly think that too. I mean, I would like to see like a Rodman Carl Malone type thing where it's Nurkic and like what's his name Jokic fighting for rebounds. Since
Mm.
Nurkic has been on like a good role for being a center right now. So I mean
Mm.
that's how I feel right now about the Suns. I mean the Suns versus Timberwolves is I mean they just played them too today. The Suns potentially could win. I don't know who I could see winning. It's kind of hard because I do like the Timberwolves too, but I don't want to be biased about it.
Well, just be biased. Like what?
I don't want to be biased.
No, you okay? But
I'm
okay. So what is your bias telling you?
my bias tell me. I mean, I like the Timberwolves. I want them to win, but I think the Suns could beat the Timberwolves if Bradley Beal can play the playoffs like how he played today. Bradley, I've never seen Bradley Beal play like that since he was in the Wizards.
Whoa. Wait,
And that's a long time ago,
what
right?
did he do today? I didn't even see. What did he do?
He was the scoring leader today.
Okay.
I think he
Let me
had like
pull it up.
26 points. Okay, go for it. Let me see. Set
He
all
had
these.
like that. He had 30 something points today. 36 points. Yeah, Minnesota. 5 assists, 6 blocks. One, sorry,
6
six
blocks?
rebounds. 6 rebounds. Sorry,
Hey, he,
1 block, 2 steals.
he think he Peyton Watson on the Nuggets. That's crazy. Even as I was talking about the Suns, I didn't even mention Bradley Beal just because he's the third wheel, but he's a scorer in his own right. So if all three of those guys can shoot well, I mean, I really do feel like they could beat anybody. As for the
Yeah,
Definitely.
as for the Timberwolves, Cat just came back. I think regardless of how you feel about Cat, that has to be a positive thing for the Timberwolves. How many minutes, and how many minutes he's actually gonna get, and how healthy and how himself he'll be for the playoffs. That's another question. But it would be nice to have him out there just because he does provide, shooting, scoring, and just being a veteran out there. So I mean, I would definitely say it's the Timberwolves are favored. I see it going to 6. I could say Timberwolves in 6, just because, like I said, the Suns can just get hot on any given night and just win that way. But the Timberwolves do have the best defense in the league, so
Yeah.
how often that'll have will it happen 4 times? I don't know, but maybe they don't need to be that good to win 4 times. Maybe they can actually just find a way to win a couple of close games. But I do think it'll be entertaining. I think it'll be a fun series.
yeah, absolutely.
Go back to Sabonis real quick. In 5 games against Anthony Davis, while Sabonis played for the Kings, he's averaging 19 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists on 60%
Dang.
on 60% from the field.
Dang. That's.
He
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Impressive
So
numbers.
I would have loved to see. I would love to see that play in matchup, but
It's a
we'll
bit
see. We'll see.
lose.
We'll see if the Lakers try to win or not.
Back to Sabonis. I was watching a random clip, and they were going through all like the father-son combos in 2K. Basically, it would be
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
the rating of Sabonis's dad, and then
yeah.
Sabonis, and they actually rated Sabonis's dad higher than the Sabonis that we're seeing these days. So his dad must be pretty good.
Apparently he was a baller. I wasn't alive to
Interesting.
see it.
Me
Maybe my
neither.
dad knows, but apparently he was a baller.
No, yeah. Apparently he's ahead of his game. Like he should be playing today's NBA.
Right. That's so cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I need to find some clips and watch about it.
Mm.
Not
I don't
too.
I don't know where we're gonna find Arvydas Sabonis highlights, but they got to be out there somewhere.
VHS tapes, man.
Yeah. All right. So the second seed, the Nuggets, will play the winner of the Pelicans Lakers series. We've already talked about it for the Lakers. I think the Lakers do have a small chance of beating the Nuggets just because they have LeBron and AD. But I would, I, I would take the Nuggets over anybody.
Yeah.
They've been my pick to win the championship for months, and
Mhm.
nothing about that has changed. So
Mhm.
I really don't have much to say about the Nuggets. I don't think the Pelicans have a chance to beat them, respectfully.
Yep.
And we've said enough about the Lakers. We don't want to talk about them anymore. So the Thunder are the first seed. I guess I guess the Thunder could technically play any of these seeds. Um, so PJ, you said you wanted the Lakers to play the Thunder. Why don't you
Yeah.
elaborate on that?
I mean, the Lakers has beat the Thunder. I think all their games they played, they beat the Thunder. Like 80 owns Chet in the paint.
AD owns Chet, huh?
Well, I mean, we've seen Chet play against other bigs. Chet's not that good against other bigs. And even if AD doesn't like playing center, he kills Chet in the paint.
I think I don't say all the centers, but I think that we talked about it before, but Chet is just not a big dude. He's tall and lanky, obviously. But extended minutes and extended, play, getting beat down low by big men that like play like centers. It's definitely not a good recipe, especially because the Thunder don't have good depth at at the big position. It's kind of just Chet,
Mm.
then a bunch of scrubs or old dudes.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so if you're bullying Chet, then like it feels like they have to find some other answer, but I don't know if they have another answer. But
Who is the backup center
oh man,
or
we looked
power
it,
forward?
we
Not
looked it,
Biombo anymore.
we looked it up, and I was like, because we were talking about this at one point, and I was like, yo, I think they have a problem, and he was like, what's the problem? I was like, they don't have a backup big man. So technically, their backup center is Jalen Williams with the Y. Jalen with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Y is their backup center. He's six foot
Yeah.
nine. He's 6'9". Their next center is Mike Muscala, which
Mhm.
he's not. If he plays in the playoffs, that they don't deserve to win. Anyways, and then Bismack Biombo,
Is Mac Biombo?
6'8". So there's no height on this team outside of Chet. So
True.
and Chet's fucking 208 pounds. So
Mm.
it's
You
it
might have to convert that into kilos. Let me do that. Let me do some quick math. 208 pounds.
uh
94 kilos. Okay, that's not very heavy at
I
all.
was gonna
You're
say I think
right.
it's less than 100.
Dang.
I was gonna say I think it's less than
Yeah.
100.
Bruh.
So
Okay, that's not good, man.
so yeah, my explanation for why the Lakers would want to play the Thunder is just AD, which what PJ said, AD and just bigs in general can just bully Chet because they don't have big man depth. So if you tire him out, get him in foul trouble, then your big man, especially if your big man can score, uh, they're kind of cooked down there.
I agree.
So the other bad matchup I would say for OKC would be the Kings because
The
good old
bonus.
good old Sabonis. Uh, Sabonis is good, but apparently playoff Sabonis is bad. So it might
Oh,
balance
really?
out. Apparently, according to Kings
That's
fans, I
funny.
don't know. I don't think. I guess he did get bodied by Kevon Looney. Was it last year? 2 years ago?
Yeah, because Kevon Looney turned into Robin for like 3 games.
Yeah, against Sabonis. Like, I can't
So
ignore that.
man,
It was against Sabonis. Sabonis is supposed to be an All Pro. Like, like you got to step up, bro. It's the playoffs.
That's right, man.
What you mean? All right. So the other matchup that was already set a little bit ago, Mavericks and Clippers. So apparently
Mm.
Luca and the Clippers have a little bit of history.
yeah,
Because I think that was Luca's first playoff series against the Clippers. I think that was his first one
Mm.
ever. And apparently they were trying to get in his face, intimidate him, do all kinds of stuff, and so he kind of took that personally, I guess. So whenever he plays the Clippers, he always goes insane. So
Well,
I feel like this will be a fun series. Caleb, how you feeling about the old man Clippers against Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving?
I was just gonna say when you said Luca turns it up against the Clippers, he definitely turns it up against the Suns as well. There's definitely
Yeah. Oh
they
yeah.
always they
I
always they
oh
always call it a father son duo between
oh yeah.
Luca and Booker, man.
Hey, Luka Doncic
And
is Devin Booker's father, baby. Come
oh
on.
man, and getting back to that video I was talking about with the father son duo. The funny thing was the end of that clip
Oh
they put
yeah.
they
There
put
it is.
Doncic and then they put
Yeah.
Devin Booker. I was
There it
like,
is.
I just had to laugh at
Hey man. Hey,
that.
it's real, bro. Luca turns it on when he's when he feels like it. There's certain people he just really has to fucking go up against.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, but I was back to the question, fourth and fifth, Clippers versus Mavs. I got it up. I've got the playoff picture right in front of me. I think I mean, yeah, if they really, piss off Luka Doncic and he gets it going, it's gonna be tough for the Clippers. But me personally actually being able to watch the Clippers live and them playing like their bench against the Suns, when I watched them in Phoenix, because they had no James Harden. They had no Kawhi, obviously. They had Westbrook and they had Paul George. And I think they were the only
Oh yeah.
notable players
Yeah.
playing in the Clippers. And they played really well. Like against the Suns, they were just they were converting every turnover, converting every missed shot. It was punishing. So I think Clippers obviously didn't look very good at the start when they gained James Harden,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they kind of flew under the radar for a little bit, and I think exactly that's what they wanted to do. And yeah, if they're playing well, then I think the Mavs are going to have trouble. So it's going to be a fun series either way. I'll
Oh
be
yeah.
watching it, not supporting either team, but just interested to see how it goes.
So I have the stats of Luca against the Clippers. It's pretty insane. He's averaged in 18 games, he's averaging 32 and a half points, 8 rebounds, and 7.5 assists.
Dang.
So I mean, it almost just looks like a normal Luca stat line, but like
Yeah,
he's averaging all this against one team in 18 games. It's not like a small sample size. Like it's like
I think
he hates them. He hates them. I don't know what
I
to
think the
say.
real question is who's guarding Luca? Is it Paul George, his son, or is it Kawhi?
I would assume Kawhi. I would assume you put your best defender on the best offensive player.
And then
It
is
has
it
to be.
PG on Kyrie?
I think it's Russell. Well, if
Ooh,
Russell Westbrook's in, I think it's Russell Westbrook. I think
Mm.
Westbrook is guarding Kyrie the majority of this series.
okay.
Whenever he's in, it depends because obviously he's coming off the bench. He's their six man now.
Yeah.
But if you're just talking about a guy that'll just get in his face, bring energy, just piss him off,
Mm.
he's obviously not gonna. He's gonna be relentless. That's just how Westbrook plays.
Yeah,
So I feel like it'll be. I don't think you put James Harden on Kyrie. So so if it's
no.
gonna be Paul George or Westbrook
Mm.
to me,
Okay.
and I think
Because then,
Kawhi should stick on Luca for sure. They'll probably switch though. They'll probably switch with Paul George
oh yeah.
just
But
to not
then
get
now you
tired.
have your leftovers. You have Gafford, PJ Washington, and whoever plays at three for the Mavs. I don't know
Um,
who's at third. Is it Tim Hardaway or somebody else?
on Tim Hardaway, I think their starting three is Derek Jones Jr.
That's
Oh,
a random starting three.
he's a hey man, 3-and-D player, high motor. I can.
I didn't know he shoots threes. I just know that he dunks really good.
Yeah, I didn't realize he's shooting threes now too.
Hey man, he's been in the league
Ex
for
Suns
how
player.
long? He's been in the league for if he's been in the league for how long? He has to be shooting threes to some extent. Like there's no way
That's
he.
right.
And even if he's
He can't
not,
survive in the league.
which it doesn't look like he actually doesn't shoot very well from three. I mean, he'll definitely give him defense. Like
Mm.
at the very least, because like Tim Hardaway is their sixth man. So if they want more shooting, they just put in Tim Hardaway.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pretty sure usually he is their other oh god, he's their other he's their starting three. It's hard to say right now
Mm.
because their whole team is out because they rested everybody because they already had their playoff spot set. So they literally have
Mm.
like 13 players or whatever listed as out.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I can see that in front of me too.
yeah, but Derek Jones Jr. is the three.
Okay.
It's it's fun. I think the back on Derek Jones Jr. He starts, but I don't think he has that many minutes though either.
Yeah,
Like he'll start there.
yeah.
I think
Give him
yeah, because
some.
Grant Williams gets a lot of minutes too. He scores a lot on. Oh no, never mind. Screw that. I forgot that Grant Williams is on the Hornets. I'm thinking about his
Oh my
Hornets
god.
He's
stats.
moved. That's right. He has moved.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Jones is probably just filling in his role. I mean, he's only getting 23 minutes a game,
Yeah.
which makes sense. But like I said, he's just. I feel like you don't even need that much offense when you have when you're starting Kyrie and Luca. So I feel like they were
Mm.
just like, you know what, just get just get this guy out there. He'll play defense. He's good enough.
Honestly, it's been surprising at Kyrie's entrance to the team. I really didn't know how it was going to go. It could have gone either way, right?
Yeah.
And for now, it seems like it's I don't know. From what I remember when he was in the Boston Celtics stint, it seems to be pretty okay. It seems to be working.
It,
So
it seems to be working better than how he was on the Celtics.
Mm.
fuck the Celtics. But the Kyrie. So it's been. For those who don't know, it's been I think did Ramadan just end recently? I'm pretty sure it did. But Kyrie was practicing, or I don't know what the correct term is, but he was practicing Ramadan, and he was going nuts for the past month. Like he was going crazy without food or water during the day. I don't know what was happening. Yeah,
That's dang.
he hit the left the lefty hook game winner.
That's right.
That was in the last month. He had some really good stat lines. They secured their spot as a fifth seed. But now that Ramadan's over, I feel like he's gonna go back to like a regular Kyrie, and then it won't be as interesting, or not interesting, but I don't know. Something's telling me that that once the playoffs start, it's gonna go downhill. But I could just be hating, but I just have an inkling that he was getting a buff from Ramadan, but now Ramadan's over, so
I
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's hard to predict as a
Oh
player and
yeah, of
as a
course.
person, Kyrie, right? So
He's an insane
we won't
person.
know.
He's a
We won't
wild
know until it
human.
happens. He is.
Does anyone have a score prediction for this series? Because
Score
it's a tough
prediction.
one. It's a tough one.
Between the Mavs and Clips.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think
Hmm.
I have a theory that the Clippers will never win anything because they originated in San Diego, and San Diego teams never win anything. But I think they can make it out of this series. Actually, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna pick the Mavs in six.
I was gonna say the Mavs in
Oh, okay.
I'll
six.
say Mavs in six.
Dang.
As much
Dang.
as I want the Clippers to make it, so I could potentially see a Lakers series,
Yeah,
I think it's Mavs in six.
I say Mavs in six. I really like
I
this
was
Clippers
actually
Maybe
team though.
Clippers in six. Who knows?
I really like this Clippers team though. I think it's really
yeah,
cool. It's really fun. I
yeah.
worry though. I worry.
I was actually gonna swing that way to Clippers, but maybe
Hey,
Clippers in seven. I think they're gonna try to figure it out
Ooh,
and probably not play very well in the first round, and then they're gonna figure it out by
wow.
the end, get them in seven. Yeah,
that's fair.
we'll see what happens.
I'm not mad at that. I said I really I this is probably my favorite iteration of the Clippers. Like
Hmm.
even like even since before Lob City. Like I think this is probably like my favorite group of Clippers. I'm not a Clippers fan, but just as
Hmm.
a basketball fan, just I really like what this group of guys, like their core four. I really like how they play off of each other, like how they synergize with each
Hmm.
other. I
Hmm.
just I don't know. I'm scared. I'm still scared because they're playing Luca, and the
Hmm.
Mavericks look a lot better. They've
Hmm.
definitely gelled with their two additions at big men, PJ Washington and Gafford. They definitely gelled a
Hmm.
lot better.
True.
It's making their team a lot better defensively, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Huge.
So it's, I mean, the Mavericks are both in logo and in the playoffs. They are the dark horse. So they're
Hmm.
the dark horse. Like no, you
Hmm.
as far as lower seeds go, even though they are fifth seed, like as far as like the bottom half of the seeds go, like you nobody really wants to play this team because they're also one of the teams that can just outshoot you. Like Kyrie and
Hmm.
Luca, they can absolutely take over a game and just end your playoff series. So
Hmm.
I'm
They
scared for
can.
the Clippers, but I'm rooting for them. But I predicted against them, so good luck.
Good
Is
luck.
is Kawhi gonna be back? Like, where is this guy?
I think he's okay.
Is he out?
I assume he's okay. I thought he's okay. I didn't hear anything.
Maybe he was just
Or wait.
resting
I
the
mean,
game that I was watching.
update Clipper. Let's see. I guess there's a lack of information. Uh, if he doesn't play, then I'm absolutely not picking the Clippers.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But hopefully he does play. I mean, I guess it's not confirmed if he is or isn't. I guess we
Hmm.
get more information on that. But if he's not playing, then I definitely am picking the Mavericks in five or
I
six.
100% agree with you for that as
So
well. If Kawhi doesn't play,
that's Kawhi though. So hey,
Kawhi effect.
that's just how it goes with him. All
Hmm.
right. So that was the overview of the West. Let's head over to the other conference, the
The
East.
East.
the first seed, surprise, surprise, Boston Celtics ahead of the pack by a wide margin, to put it lightly.
That, mhm.
The beautiful two seed, probably this is probably my favorite team of the year. I'll be honest, this is probably my favorite story and team of the year. The New York Knicks,
It's a
led
surprise.
led by the little thicky Jalen Brunson, the second
I'm kind
seed
of
in the conference. I love it.
that's impressive.
I love it. The
Yeah.
Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks fall to the third seed behind Giannis's injury. It is not confirmed whether or not he will be playing in the first round.
Oh,
So we'll get to that. The Cavs end up at fourth, going against the Magic at fifth. And my other favorite team of the year, the Indiana Pacers. Like I said, Tyrese Halliburton fans on this podcast, they will be going against the Bucks, which is one of my dream matchups for the playoffs because
my dream matchup too.
the toxicity will be incredible. I am here for it, even though I'm a big Giannis fan and a Bucks fan. Hey, if we get memes, if we get entertainment, we get we get some drama. I'm fully here for it.
Right. That's a win-win situation for NBA, right?
Absolutely. And then the seventh seed in the play-in, we have the 76ers. Eighth seed is the Heat. And then Bulls and the Hawks are 9 and 10. I don't want to see them in the
Go for the
playoffs.
Bulls. Let's go.
No, 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 no. If either of these teams make it to the playoffs, I will be nothing but sad. I don't want to see either of these teams in the playoffs. I don't. I'm
I don't want to see them either.
I've said
I
it
mean,
already. I've said this before. I just don't want to see them there. There's nothing interesting about either of those teams. I don't want to see it. At least if the Sixers or Heat play the Celtics or something, there's a chance that they can beat the Celtics. The Bulls and the Hawks, I don't even want to. It's a waste of a series. Just give us the good teams. Give us that top 8 right there. I'm not even going to act like the Bulls or Hawks have a chance at making it. I'm only talking about the top 8 teams. If they make it, good for them. I hope they enjoy their first round exit to the Celtics or Knicks. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, now let's talk about these teams that are in it. The Cavs and Magic, I'll be honest, that's probably the least interesting matchup of the first round. These are two of the most like whatever teams. Like they're good and that's cool and I'm glad they made it. But I don't really care much about either of these teams. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I feel like a hater right now.
Oh, my first thoughts was I can't remember what Orlando weren't playing this well last year, were they?
No, hell no. they
Yeah,
had the
those are-
sixth overall pick.
who did?
Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Anthony Black.
Oh,
That's right.
And
that's
his buddy
right.
Grady Dick. But
Grady Dick. That's right.
Grady Dick and Anthony Black.
What a jersey swap.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about that shit when it happened. We didn't even bring that up. We didn't even bring that up, bro. But that shit happened. They really did.
I really thought about it, eh?
But yeah, Cavs Magic. I don't know. Do either of you guys have any strong opinions about this? I didn't even think the Magic would be here, but
Yeah, me
they
neither.
surprised me.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, they surprised
I'm
me.
surprised that they're there. And,
I've never watched
like it.
any. Okay, go for it. My bad.
Oh no, you go first, BJ.
I've never seen any of the Magic games. But I feel like they're obviously one of the most slept on teams in the league.
Mhm.
If they beat the Cavs and go to the second round, I would be really amazed. But I'm already amazed that they made the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just
Yeah.
surprised they're here.
Yeah,
good for them.
that's all I was gonna say. Really, that everything you guys have said, that's all I would have said about Orlando Magic. I'm surprised they're here.
Like, good for them. Good for Paolo. Good for Franz. I'm happy for them. I like Markel Fultz a lot. I think he's cool. I like Cole
Like
Anthony.
Suggs.
Okay.
I do like Suggs too, and I do like our proud Aussie player Joe Jingles. I think
Oh,
he's
right. Oh,
he's,
yeah.
on
he's a
that
high IQ basketball player. I like high IQ.
He's got no ACLs.
Doesn't need him.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the Cavs go, I mean, I like the team. I think they're healthy. Donovan Mitchell's there. I think Garland's there. I mean, I I would hope that the Cavs, with a little bit more, since they have more playoff experience than the Magic. I would hope that a Donovan Mitchell led team doesn't lose to the the duo of Banquero and Wagner, but you never know. I still think the Cavs team is a tier above the Magic. I would still pick the Cavs in like five. Uh,
Mm.
that's really all I have to say about that. Because like I said, there's
Yep.
no drama. There's no drama in this matchup. I have nothing to invest in. It's just, they're just two young teams and they're duking it out. And I'm like, sure. I hope it's a good series.
I
That's
feel like
really all.
that's a toss up for me.
Really.
Um, yeah,
Do you think it's going
just the
longer?
fact, huh?
You think it's going longer than five?
I have Magic in six
Oh, okay.
because Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they're two bigs on the floor that don't play stretch. They don't have any 3 point games. I mean, Evan
Mhm.
Mobley, he potentially can shoot threes, but he can't. He's a mid range player.
Yeah.
Uh, we're gonna be focusing on scoring with Donovan Mitchell and team, and then Magic. Everyone can shoot on that team. Um, I don't know. It's really weird, but I feel like the Magic's gonna win this in six.
Okay. Interesting.
Very
The
interesting.
Cavs can win, but it's it's me and Magic in six.
Caleb, do you have a prediction? If
Bold
not,
predictions.
I mean,
No, I think I actually agree with Jacob on this one. So I
yeah,
think Cavs got it in the bag. What is it
yeah.
in five?
I said five.
Yeah,
It could be
I
six.
think yeah
I could
maybe,
I
but
could give them six just because I think they are still good and they deserve a little bit of
yeah.
respect. But I'm just gonna say five because it's like they to me the Cavs team is just better on paper and they have more
Oh yeah,
experience. It's like what am I? What I'm not. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I have to be missing something. But well, maybe I am. I don't like. I don't know shit about the Magic apparently. So I could just be missing something. But to me, the Cavs are just a better team. So I'm pick the Cavs in five.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now this is the best series of the first round. Well, it might not be, but it could be the best series of the first round. Milwaukee Bucks against the Indiana Pacers. Uh,
Pacers in six.
okay, we didn't. We okay, so I don't. Are you referencing my prophecy? Is that what so for those? A couple weeks ago, I had a dream that the Bucks were gonna lose to the 76ers in the first round in 6 games, but they're not playing the 76ers, so the dream's
Mm.
already dead. But they could still lose in six to the Pacers. Uh,
Hmm.
Now this is a dream matchup for me because for one the drama there was that whole shit about the game ball. That whole
That's
debacle was
right.
incredible. These
Yep.
teams are just natural. I'm sure they're division rivals, so they just don't like each other. Um, and the Pacers knocked out the Bucks in the in-season tournament. So I feel like there's just these
Mm.
teams have played each other enough times to feel like this is a little bit personal. Uh,
Mm.
The only problem, god damn it, Giannis may not. We don't know if he's playing or not, which is really
Oh dang.
unfortunate. The
Mm.
only confirmed injury, the only confirmed injury for Giannis is that he had a calf strain. I don't think they've even said how bad of a calf strain it is, like what grade it is, like
Yeah.
how many weeks he might have to be out. I think they've just been very vague or given very broad
Cautious.
timetables. Um, So he might not be there, and if he is there, he most definitely won't be 100% healthy because
Mm.
it'll be his first game back. Uh,
Mm.
so that's the asterisk about this. But apparently PJ I don't know if you factored in the Giannis injury or not, but PJ, explain your Pacers in 6, please.
I mean, it was from your dream. Potentially they could go 5 games or even sweep this season. The Pacers are 4-1 against the Bucks, but this is before they got Siakam.
Right.
I mean, if they're doing fairly well, like if they can beat the Bucks in the amount of games that this season, they could lose maybe 2 games against the Bucks. They know how to play against the Bucks, and then without Giannis, it's gonna be very very tough for them.
Hmm.
A different matchup, but I'm pretty sure they can get it done. As much as I wanted the Bucks to win this year, I'm rooting for the Pacers
Hell
to
yeah.
beat the Bucks.
Respect that.
Caleb, while I look for injury news on Giannis, do you have any? How do you feel about this matchup? Because I do think it'll be the best one, or it could be.
I think, yeah, I mean, not having Giannis definitely throws some spanners in the works there. That's
Pretty,
going to be
pretty.
interesting.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah, but Damian Lillard, from what I've heard this season, playing a bit subpar. This might force him to
That's
break out. Maybe I don't know.
that's putting it
Might
very
be
that's putting
Dame.
it very nicely. But you are correct. You are correct.
It
That
could be
is.
Dame time 2.0 in Milwaukee. But I think you guys got it on the right track. I think in 6, yeah, I think the Pacers have got it because I'm a I'm a believer in Halliburton as well. I do like that guy. He's high IQ basketball, and
Hey,
the guy and the PG's behind him. So I'm a big TJ McConnell fan. He's like totally random player.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone knows about him, but that guy
Yeah.
is like a C grade Steve Nash man. You
Scrappy.
can't he can't shoot 3 pointers or anything like that, but he knows how to get it done, man. I love watching that guy play.
He might be
hey,
the perfect backup point guard to Tyrese Halliburton just because I feel
Mm,
like they play complete opposite games. Like I feel like their
yeah,
style of play is just it couldn't be any more different, but it fits perfectly.
he's
Um,
one of the last pure point guards left. I feel TJ McConnell.
oh yeah,
Probably. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
he's one of the guys that when they talk about him, they're just like he's a scrappy guy. He plays the game the right way.
exactly,
110% effort.
exactly.
First
He's
guy
so
in,
efficient.
first guy in, last guy out. That kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
he's just like everybody wants a TJ McConnell on their team.
Would have loved to have him in the Suns, but
oh,
Hey, bro.
Suns apparently don't need a point guard. So
that's
Yeah,
how I
apparently not.
feel. That's how I feel about the Bulls. On every fan page or every like fan page on Instagram on the off season, I'm like, dude, when we had Lonzo when he was like before he got injured, he was pure point guard.
mm,
He was always passing the ball. Like if he had an open shot, I'll take the open shot. But he was always trying to get his teammates more
he made
points.
some ball. Yeah.
Like that's why Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan aren't working out right now because they both need the ball in their hands, but no one's actually trying to distribute it to them in the right spots.
Mm,
So I wanted TJ McConnell on the Bulls, and I feel like that would fit for the Bulls.
mm.
But yeah, TJ McConnell is such a good player,
Oh, he's
especially for
great.
the
I love that
Pacers.
guy. I love
Thank
that guy.
thank you, PJ, for bringing up the Bulls. So that we don't have to talk about them again for this discussion. Um,
If they win, they win.
if they win, they win, and I'll be sad
You'd
that
be
the
happy for him.
Sixers or Heat didn't get to play the Celtics in the first round because
What
that would be
in order?
way more interesting.
I
But
mean, in order for them to win, DeMar DeRozan has to bring out his daughter again and start screaming.
hey, bro, whatever it takes, whatever it takes,
Whatever it takes to win, if they can make it to the second round, oh shit!
bro. I'm just saying, hey, she had school, bro. If she was there for that Heat game last year, he would have
Oh, they
never
would have
made it to
won.
the. He would have never made it to the finals. They wouldn't have made it out the play-in. If she didn't have school, bro. Hey, but they weren't
Definitely
about
not.
that. They didn't do whatever it took to win. Now, you know what?
They didn't
That's
want
on
it
them.
enough.
That's on them. I did not find any more Giannis news. We are as in the dark as we were 4 days
Be
ago.
quiet. Okay.
There's nothing. They are keeping this under wraps. He has until April 20th is when the playoffs start. I don't know when their first game is. I don't know if it's on the 20th or 21st, but he has until then. Otherwise, he's gonna start missing games.
As
So,
a hot tip, I'll say I have a background as a physical therapist. You guys call it. When
ooh,
you run like that and you get a strain like that, that's not good. I think they're definitely hiding something. This
probably
could
they could
be
be.
major. I feel.
It,
This could be Achilles.
it might be. It's not ruled out. I don't believe.
Yeah,
So they, I mean, they
but
may as well just rip the band-aid off if they are hiding it though. Like, there's no point in hiding
yeah,
it. You may as well just lower everyone's
that's right.
expectations now. Like, just fucking get it out the way.
Yeah, but I
uh,
couldn't really get a good view of the camera angle, so you can't really see what's going on. But if you
yeah,
look at
you kind of
how
just
Kevin Durant did his, Kobe
mhm,
did his, it just
yeah,
looks like a simple action, and then boom, your
yeah.
Achilles is gone. Right.
Do you think
But
this one is as worse as the one he had in the finals?
No,
as
even
in
the
like the knee
The
hyperextension,
hyperextension?
Giannis.
Yeah.
that was the Eastern Conference
Usually,
That was
Finals. But
that
yeah,
was crazy. Like I don't know how Giannis came back from that. So that's why I'm
yeah, he
also
came
like,
back
oh, he might be
fast.
okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. Like if he didn't, then maybe the Suns would have won the championship.
that's what I was thinking. As much, of course, you don't want it to be an Achilles, but
Yeah,
somehow he came back from his knee bending the
yeah,
wrong way,
that's right.
and
So
then
maybe
won
it's not that bad.
and then he won Finals MVP, putting up 50 points in
Yeah,
Game 6. So I don't
yeah,
know. He's kind of superhuman. But
yeah. He is. He is.
as somebody that's been following the Bucks for a few years and been following the Pacers for a bit this year, uh, I I feel like I feel like I know both of these teams enough, or I can kind of tell what's gonna happen. Um, so before when I used to talk about the Pacers, uh, they were kind of just like an offense first team, just outshoot the opponent, move the ball, just get shots, and then you'll score more than them. But now they actually have like average defense, which is better than before. So if
Mm,
they can actually, get some stops, play some more ball, and I mean, this Bucks team, man, they are struggling in all facets, especially now
mm,
that Giannis isn't there. The team
mm.
looks it's a disaster. It's like it's almost a miracle that the Bucks are where they are.
Yeah.
Which to me just speaks to what Giannis was doing God's work on this team. Because you
Yeah.
said Lillard was subpar. He has been terrible. He's been bad. He's been awful. He's had a lot of stinker games, and if he's supposed to
Mm,
be the second guy next to Giannis, it's it hasn't panned out, for one
mm,
reason or another. Um,
mm,
so I've been saying the Pacers are a dark horse. I really like this team. They went through a rough stretch where Halliburton was playing through an injury, trying to qualify for All NBA. It might work. He might get rewarded for that. But the team was definitely struggling during that period. But now he's coming
mm.
back. He's getting healthy. Team is gelling after that Siakam trade. They're playing better defense. I It might be Pacers. It might actually be Pacers in six. If Giannis plays, I'm taking Bucks in six for sure. Because I still don't think they have a solid way of stopping Giannis. Uh, it would it would have to rely on whether everyone around Giannis can play, and I guess how healthy Giannis is. But I'm just gonna assume if he plays, he'll be okay because he's a demigod. Uh, but man, I'm having a hard time seeing the Bucks outs to win this if Giannis isn't playing. It'll legitimately take Portland Damian Lillard to come back
Oh yeah.
for the Bucks to have
Oh
a
yeah,
chance
definitely.
because
Oh yeah.
Halliburton versus, and please God, just let it be entertaining. If we can get a Halliburton versus Lillard shoot off, oh my God. Please give us something. If we're not getting Giannis, I'm begging you, just let Halliburton and fucking Lillard just do a 3-point contest, bro. Just play
I
one
hear
on
you.
one. Just play one on
Yeah.
one. I don't care at this point. I just need something fun if we're not getting Giannis, because my God, it's gonna be so sad watching the Doc Rivers Bucks without Giannis, with old man Brook Lopez One
Oh,
ACL, fucking Chris Middleton. I don't even know if he had an ACL tear. He was out for a long time this season
I
though.
know. It
And
was
so
something about his knee.
yeah, his legs in general are just fucked up. Like if that is what we're getting, if that's the Bucks team I'm gonna watch that doesn't have Giannis on it, please, you have to give me something. Or else I
mm,
mean, the Pacers would definitely win, and it just wouldn't. It would just be sad to watch. Like, it's just be like, man, like this just, oh,
it will
for
be
Bucks fans,
yeah.
anyways. For Bucks fans, anyways.
I actually, upon reflection, I think the way just remembering the clip of how Giannis did it, I think he'll be fine. Actually, I think Giannis will be there in the first round, and with Giannis in there, I think it'll be very interesting.
I'm
Yeah. I
hoping and
don't.
praying.
He's superhuman. I think the way Kobe did his Achilles and the way Clay. I don't think we had clips of that. DeMarcus Cousins,
Oh yeah,
those moves, Kevin Durant, they were much more explosive, whereas Giannis was just jogging. So
yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed.
All right. So my other team or the other team that I've championed a lot on this podcast. I like the New York Knicks a lot. OG Anunoby's coming back, and whenever he plays, the team wins. I think they are like 18-3 or something when OG Anunoby plays. It might be 18-4 or 19-3 at this point, but when he plays, the team is super super good. So between the Sixers, they're confirmed to play either the 76ers or the Miami Heat. PJ, which team do you think is going to end up going against the Knicks in that from that?
Sixers.
Oh, okay. What was it? Just because Joel Embiid's back?
I mean, they've been doing good without Joel Embiid too. I mean, I think if Joel Embiid plays how he did like in the first half of the season, for sure you're gonna make it to the seventh seed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Heat right now is just looking complicated. I don't know what's going on with that team.
Hmm.
I mean, I haven't seen any like games recently, but on paper they look really good. The lineup looks super good.
Hmm.
But will they just become better because Jimmy Butler's turning on his playoff mode?
He
Yeah, Jimmy.
might. He might. I don't know, bro. I mean, I agree with you. I think that I do think the 76ers are gonna make it to go against the Knicks. I think they'll beat the Heat, and then the
I want
Heat.
the Heat to play the Celtics again, though.
That is the other thing I was gonna say. That was my other one of my other dream matchups. I want the Heat Celtics run back. I need to see it again because, oh boy, if it happens 2 years in a row, oh god. Surely the eighth seed Heat don't upset the first seed 2 years in a row, right? Like surely not. Like it can't happen again, right? Like we're not doing that this year. Um,
They should.
uh, Caleb,
Uh,
Caleb, how you
Drew
feel?
Holiday extended his contract, by the way. So
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever. He's fucking the fuck that guy. He's cool. He's. I like Drew Holiday. Good for him. I hope.
He's a good guy.
I hope it'll go well for him. Caleb, how you feel about this
Actually,
plan?
yeah, but I was gonna say, I watched spontaneously a Toronto Raptors game and a 76ers game, and the 76ers didn't have Joel Embiid at the time, and their bench was just turning it up. They had Kelly Oubre, who was like,
Kelly.
oh
I think
yeah,
he shot like 6 of 8 3 pointers, and it wasn't too many seasons ago. This guy was in Golden State Warriors, being like shooting up 0 of 12 or something. So this guy's come a long way, Kelly Oubre. And then Campaign, an ex Phoenix Suns player, didn't do any of this for Phoenix.
Yeah.
But he was lighting it up. He was, I mean, Raptors, obviously, they're like, what, 10th or 12th? I can't remember what. They're not
They're
the
they're
bottom,
near the
but I
bottom.
think
They're near the bottom.
they're probably like, yeah, 11. I don't even know what they are, but they were getting punished. Every shot they missed, every turnover, Campaign, like spot up three, Kelly Oubre, spot up three. Like, they were
oh
making them
yeah.
pay. So if these guys can play like that, I mean, not every team's going to be like the Raptors, but if they can convert, I definitely think they got it in the bag against the Heat. No question.
No,
Okay.
yeah. The Sixers are like that.
I'm with it. PG, you mentioned earlier, Embiid at the beginning of the season was a monster. I think if he didn't get injured and he was able to sustain something around that, like at least like somewhere around that level of play, I think he would have won MVP again this
Oh,
year.
100%.
Because
100%.
he was legitimately playing. He was playing. He would have earned this MVP. I'll say that.
He would have got his real MVP.
Yeah, he would have gotten his
Mm.
actual MVP. But you know what? Let's just say that he and Jokic switched this year and last year. There you go. That's fair. Let's just
Yeah,
ignore what years they won it, and let's just say that they have the correct number of MVPs. Uh,
exactly.
but I do love the Sixers team. With Embiid back. We talked about Maxi. I think I put Maxi in my
Mm.
All NBA third team for holding down the Sixers team while Embiid was gone,
Mm.
keeping them in the play-in. He most improved player probably. I really like the team.
Yeah.
As for the Knicks matchup, if we're all predicting them to be going against the Knicks, I mean I like the Knicks too much to bet against them, but man, Joel Embiid, man, he's a scary guy. He's scary. It's hard to bet against him also, but it is the playoffs,
Mm.
so he might just choke.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
and
I see them losing in the second round.
I say that as somebody with an Embiid jersey, so I can't ignore. I personally put more blame on him than James Harden for them losing to the Celtics last year. Personally,
Mm.
James Harden won 2 games for the Sixers. Embiid won them one. If you couldn't get
Mm.
2 wins out of your MVP, I feel like it's more on him than Harden because they both had abysmal games in some of those losses. But I think I just like the Knicks a lot. I think they have a great team. Even if Julius Randle's not playing, they're still winning games. The team still has an incredible defensive identity, being led by post god Jalen Brunson. Like I have to root for them. I think they're just so cool, and I'd love
Mm.
to see them keep going. Especially because I still think the Mavs should have kept Jalen Brunson, and I feel like
Oh
anytime he
yeah.
does something cool, I'm just like, you had the help for Luca. He was on your team
Mm.
already. You could have kept him.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I just like.
But I feel like
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Jalen Brunson moving to the Knicks has just made him blossom even more at
Oh,
the same
100%.
time.
Exactly.
100%. I still think obviously he wouldn't be getting as many touches or shooting as much, but he'd still be a fucking good player, a great player,
Oh yeah,
especially
the
next
guy's
to Luca.
amazing.
I mean, it would have been perfect, but it is what it is. But I absolutely love this for Jalen Brunson. He's become one of my favorite players because of this Knicks run. So I would still pick the Knicks to beat the Sixers. Maybe six. I would say Knicks in six. Rhyming accidentally. But I could definitely I
Knicks
see
in
the
six.
avenue. I see the avenue for the Sixers to win. But I think it would have to be like Sixers and seven.
Mm.
I think it'd have to go all the way. How do you guys feel about a
I
Nick
think 6 or 7.
Sixers? You're doing this on purpose.
It's a 6 or 7.
You're doing this on purpose.
You mean 76ers and 7 or 6, right?
you, you're just repeating the same numbers. You're not even.
That's right. Not even thinking, just numbers. Yeah.
Oh, Caleb, do you have a prediction?
I like the hashtag Knicks in 6.
Yeah, it rhymes. It's fun. And
Yeah.
now these predictions could mean nothing because technically the plane could 100% go differently. So, but
Mhm.
at least for the set matchups we have those. But if the Sixers beat the Heat in the play-in, that means the Heat will play the winner of the ninth seed Bulls or Hawks. We talked about a little bit about the Bulls.
Right.
The reason I don't want to see either of these teams in the playoffs is because they're both injured. They're both clearly not at 100%. They're both clearly not that good. Like it's
Mhm.
just, and I don't think either of them have a shot against the Celtics, especially since the Hawks
No
don't have
way.
Trey Young. It's just like I'm gonna watch
But they
the.
do have Trae Young.
Is he back?
He's back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
He's
heard
he's
he's
back.
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 Okay.
He just came back.
He just can't.
Not
That's almost worse
not
that he
enough
just.
time for
It's
my
almost
fantasy.
worse that he
I know.
just came back.
I
No,
think it's bad
And
when DeJounte Murray and Trae Young play together.
now okay, but now I have to watch Trey Young just back from injury and DeJounte Murray against the Celtics. Like this is just
Mhm.
it's musty. I just don't want it. I just let me watch the Jimmy Butler run back against the Celtics. I don't want to see it. If I was gonna pick one team, I guess I'd pick the Hawks, but the team's still not that good.
yeah,
Trey Young will have to do God's work to beat the Celtics. And
yeah.
I just don't care enough. I've seen him do some cool stuff, but now's not the year. They need to. One of them is getting traded next year, anyways. Just
Who do you reckon it'll be? You reckon it'll be Trey or you reckon it'll be Dejounte?
I would assume DeJounte, but I don't know. I feel like they
I
should.
actually I have a feeling it might be Trey.
It has to be Trae.
I
I
mean, hey,
feel like
man.
he's a problem.
Yeah,
Hey, full rebuild. Fuck it, go for it. I don't care. Hey,
yeah.
whatever it takes for them to be relevant, go ahead. We can talk more. We can talk more about the about the Hawks in the offseason because unlike the West playing teams where I can see the avenue to them like winning a championship, the Bulls and Hawks shouldn't even be here. They're like 5 game. They're like how many games back from the Heat? Like they,
5,
like, like
6,
why are they even
10.
here? Like it's just it's like they don't deserve this much screen time for their record.
Mm.
They just don't. That's no shade.
Yeah, I'm
They'll
honestly surprised.
they'll
Yeah.
tell those
The-
fans will tell you that that this is they're just here because of format. But it is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Anyways,
basically.
hoping the Heat play the Celtics. I mean, the obvious bet is to just say the Celtics because they're the Celtics. But you never know, man. Are we still believing in the zombie Heat, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and now Jaime Jaquez? And Terry Rozier,
Mm.
is he back? How long is he out?
Oh yeah.
I think he's back.
I
Yeah,
thought Tyler
Terry.
Hero was injured.
Is Hero injured? Oh my god.
I don't know. Honestly,
Nothing's good.
if the Heat does play the Knicks, I got Knicks in 5, and then if the Celtics played the Sixers, I don't know. I don't
I'm
think
okay. I
the
think.
Heat.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I don't think the Heat's just gonna go deep.
Yeah,
Their
I don't.
players are not consistent
Oh man,
if they're playing or not.
Yeah.
let me look up this this injury report for the fucking Heat is so
I feel
sad.
like the Heat just far too inconsistent this year in general.
Yeah.
I do like their pickup for Patty Mills there.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you.
another tough guy on the team. Scrappy
Patty
guy.
Thrills.
Shout out to
Patty.
Patty. See ya.
And it doesn't make sense because Patty Mills was in the Hawks before, right? And then Trey got injured, went to have surgery, and then they traded him away. I was like, oh, okay. Patty
Hmm.
Mills wasn't getting any minutes there.
What the?
Is Patty Australian? Am I going
He
crazy?
is.
Okay, I just had to make. I had to confirm.
Yeah.
I had to confirm because I
He is.
swore he was, but I didn't want
He
to.
is. Definitely is.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely. From the land down under, that's him.
Shout out to
He
Patty.
always plays amazing for FIBA basketball and Olympics. So excited to see even Olympics basketball this year, guys.
Hell yeah, bro! I'm excited for that too. Apparently, all the USA players are coming out to play, so
Yeah. that's what I
hopefully they
heard.
actually do. Because apparently
Yep.
they want to dominate again, so we'll see what
Mhm.
happens.
Is Josh Giddey playing for you guys?
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not sure what's happened with the news around him, but he's obviously
Oh.
still playing in the NBA at the moment. So if he's still playing in the NBA, I guess there's no issues for him to play in
Yeah.
Zuna squad.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about that because I
Another player.
didn't want to dive into that, but
Fair enough. Fair enough.
shout out to Giddy. But yeah, I think for the Heat, I mean, I don't know. It'll just take some heroics. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like Celtics in 5 or something.
Yeah.
But I think these are both the Sixers and Heat are fun dark horse teams that I could see them moving on to the next round and potentially to the championship. But yeah, I feel like the only the two big names from the East are just the Celtics and Knicks. Those are like the only two teams that I could see going to the. I think that really could go to the playoffs or the championship. I mean, because I don't. The other teams just don't do it for me.
The Pacers
Yeah.
don't. They don't move you.
No, not as a championship team. Not yet.
I don't know. What are they missing?
Experience.
Oh yeah, they
Halliburton's
got
got to get.
Pascal.
Halliburton has to get better on defense. He's improving, and he's like okay at certain times, but he has to get more consistent and better in general.
True, true.
I didn't really hear about too much of Halliburton post All Star break. It was all in news
Yeah,
pre All Star break,
he
and
was
then
hurt.
just didn't hear about him afterwards.
Yeah, that's when he was hurt for a couple months, and his play
Mm-hmm.
significantly dropped off. He just
Right.
recently started coming back to form, which is why
I see.
I think that's why they've been able to avoid the plan because the
Mm,
team started gelling and he got healthier,
right.
and now they're here. So, uh,
Mm.
yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think the Pacers are good enough. Like I said, I wouldn't take the way I'm looking at it. Do they have a chance against the Nuggets? Yes or no? And like that's it. Now I know
Mm.
that the Nuggets might not even make it, but then they have to beat a team that beat the Nuggets. It's like,
Mm.
ah. I personally just feel like the Celtics or Knicks are like the only teams here that could put up a good fight against them. I guess
Mm.
maybe the 76ers, but they would have to overcome a lot to get there.
Yeah.
And even then, Joel Embiid hasn't played in Denver in like 3 years or something. So probably
It'd
even
be a
longer than
Cinderella
that.
story.
It's probably
Yeah.
been longer than that. Like he does
Cinderella
not
story.
he doesn't play there. I don't. Hey, whatever the reasons may be, the fact is he has not played there. And if he does play there, he's gonna get that the crowd is
Look,
gonna be on his ass.
for sure.
Yeah, I think that about does it for us for the playoffs.
Did we just rewind back? Did we do Wolves and Suns? I actually can't remember if we did that.
Oh, wait, that was
We did, right?
that's the first.
First team.
That had to be the first thing we did.
Fair, fair.
Because
Well,
I was like, oh, if we're talking about the Suns. I think, I mean, if that's your team, I mean, shit. I feel like
yeah,
that's the.
Suns for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna
I
try
got
to.
a.
What's
Oh
up?
wait, go for it. I got a blind rank for Caleb later.
Oh no, do that. Do that right now. Do that right now. Do that right
Do
now.
that right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what the blind rank is, Caleb?
Nah.
So I'm gonna name some players, and then you gotta have to rank them 1 through 5. Like, let's
Okay.
say he's not a player on my list. Let's say James Harden. You gotta
Okay.
say he's 3 or 2 or 1, whatever.
Yep.
Let
Okay.
me know
And
when
then I
you're
won't
ready.
know. Okay. And just to clarify, one is the best.
Yeah.
1's the best, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Blind rank.
So yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be tough because I don't know the players that you're gonna say next. But,
Right. Exactly.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's
Exactly.
do this. All right, I'm ready.
These are all good players. I'm not gonna give you bad players. But the next time
Yeah.
you come back, there might be a curveball in there.
Heck, I
Okay.
like the curveballs.
All right, since you like true point guards, we're doing true point guards.
Okay.
This guy used to be on the Suns,
Okay.
no longer on the Suns, and his name is Chris Paul. Where are you gonna put him at?
Mm. I will put him at. I'll put him at 3.
3? Okay, that's solid.
Hmm.
Solid. All right, he played in the '80s. One of the greats. Could be a top
Mm-hmm.
5. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Magic Johnson. Where are you gonna put him up?
Ooh.
A true point guard,
Ooh.
Magic Johnson.
I mean,
I'll.
since he is a true
You know,
point.
admittedly so. I never watch this guy a lot on the highlights, but I feel like he's got to be 1.
It's gonna be 1. Okay. Now we're gonna go more ahead in time. We're gonna
Okay.
go to today's NBA. Tyrese Halliburton. We just talked about him too.
Mm-hmm. I'll comfortably say 2. We don't know what his peak is at, right?
I was dicking around, fucking
Okay.
putting up a 2 to the camera. I didn't think you were actually gonna do it. I
I
think you're
didn't
actually
even
gonna
see
do
that
that.
2 until
I
afterwards.
didn't actually think you were gonna do that. I was just like,
There's no bad picks. There's no bad picks.
okay,
Yeah.
sure, no bad picks.
We're gonna go back to the '90s though.
Oh my god.
Okay.
He was
No, not this
apparently
guy.
the one of the best point guards of all
Not
time.
this guy.
John Stockton.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I feel like I screwed myself over with these picks. Then what
Not
we
that
have to
that
be?
not yeah, go ahead. I'll talk about it after you're done ranking. Go ahead.
Well, he can't be 5. I think he has to be 4. And I think you're going to screw me over with Steve Nash or Jason Kidd or something at the end.
I was thinking I should have done Suns point guards.
I
I didn't.
we could have.
I didn't.
I mean, I don't know how many there are. I mean, how many good ones there are that are like notable, but you know, I get you.
There's a couple
John
of them.
Stockton, number 4. I have to.
Oh man. Well, here it
I don't want
comes.
to break your heart right now.
Well, here it comes. Here it comes.
Well, I know this guy's your favorite player.
Here it goes.
I wanted to see how the list was gonna go. Well, Steve Nash is your number 5.
He has to. Yep,
Oh,
Steve number 5. I think, as a biased fan, if I speak objectively, Steve Nash is. Oh, okay, I definitely, if I knew, I would have put Steve Nash over Chris, but
Okay.
I don't think Steve Nash is the greatest. As much of a big fan I am, yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
no, that's
Okay.
he's he,
fair.
can't,
That's
he,
fair.
can't, he can't be number 1. I have no regrets not choosing him as number 1.
Oh, that makes sense.
How do you feel about your order?
All right, so we'll go
It's a
through your
bit.
order. So it's Magic Johnson
Look,
was number 1. Tyrese
I think I
Halliburton.
agree with that.
Tyrese Halliburton's
Uh-huh.
your number 2. Chris Paul's
Okay,
your
yeah,
number
it's
3.
hard to know his peak. Chris Paul, yeah, maybe I would swap that with Steve Nash. Who knows?
Number 4 is John Stockton.
Uh huh.
And your 5th,
Steve
the
Nash.
classic, Steve Nash.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just say I have no regrets with the number 1 pick. Like as
Okay.
much as I love Steve Nash,
He got Magic
I
Johnson.
think
up there.
you gotta have Magic. Yeah.
What'd you say? Oh, okay. So
Yeah, I was thinking about when I did it, I was like, should I just go decades or should I just do Suns? Because I had Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul at the same time, but they're like the same player.
Yeah, fair.
okay. All right, so
It's tough doing those ranks. I feel because oh man, I love Steve Nash, but it breaks my heart to not put him
to me,
put him at number 5. You guys screwed me over.
I would have put John Stockton as unrated. He wouldn't have made my list. I would have left him off completely. He wouldn't have been on there. That dude, apparently the dude's just an asshole, and he believes in some crazy shit.
Oh really?
apparently, and he's pretty vocal about it. It's crazy.
Interesting.
He made the dream team over Isaiah Thomas, so
Yeah, because fucking
That's true.
well, you know the story, the supposed
Jordan.
the supposed stories, which make I get it. I get why they would choose Stockton. I also get why Isaiah Thomas is mad. I get it. It's fair. People are people, man. They got feelings. I get it.
Absolutely.
I get it. All right.
Anyways, what were your ranks, Jacob?
If I was doing it, I probably would have put Paul at 3, Halliburton at 4, Magic at 1,
Mm-hmm.
Stockton in hell, and then Nash at 2.
Nash at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably how I would have done it. Just because Halliburton
Yeah.
he's too young. Like I need
Yeah,
that.
it's hard to know his peak exactly.
No, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's true. I just I already know what Chris Paul is. I know what Steve Nash is, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Halliburton's
If
hard to
Halliburton
say.
falls off for some reason for the next 3 years, then it's like,
Yeah,
that's just something I
exactly.
don't know. So
Exactly.
I had to, I would have been more comfortable with him at 4 just because it's like, well, if I'm ranking him against Steve Nash, it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
Steve Nash has 2
No,
MVPs. Like,
if I had known all the players set before me, I think I would have gone for that ranking as well.
yeah. I mean, it's a blind rank. It happens. It's whatever.
Yeah.
You'll get
I
that
just,
fixed next time.
It just if Steve Nash ever listens to this podcast, I apologize.
Hey, yeah, Steve Nash, if you're listening, Steve Nash, if you're listening, it wasn't your fault in Brooklyn. It's okay. I
Oh,
understand.
I agree with
It
that
wasn't-
too. I agree with that.
It wasn't
100%.
your fault.
It wasn't his fault.
That's
I was
right.
trying to
No
save the
way.
best for last. I was assuming you were gonna leave your number one pick open.
Nah. If you
I didn't
could
know who you're gonna. I feel like you,
now
PJ, you did me
now
dirty, man.
if we're just ranking point guards, Magic Johnson would be my number one. But that's a story. That's a conversation for another day, though.
Okay.
But he wouldn't be my number one. What you got,
Before
BJ?
you end, I actually wanted to ask Caleb a question
Oh, go ahead.
because this is about our last episode.
Go for it.
Quick question. You I kind of answered it in the draft. You said, but for this season, is Booker a better player than Durant? This
This
season.
season, I would say so. I think Booker gets the ball more. He gets more shots up than Durant. It's been Booker's team ever since Durant entered the equation, and I think Durant has always been happy to kind of give that up to him as well. I think Booker's had a pretty good season. I don't really hear too much about Kevin Durant. I've been pretty indifferent about him entering the Suns, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm pretty sad. I'm pretty sad that they gave up Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and a whole lot of other people for Kevin Durant. But yep, I stand by it. I think Booker is the better player this season. He didn't have a great he didn't have a great game when I watched him, but overall, I think yes, Booker is the better player this season.
That question it goes to because we made we're predicting the first team, second team, and third team all NBA teams. Um, and Jacob had Durant in his second team, and I had Booker in my second team.
Okay, nice.
Yup.
So I just wanted to know from you, like who played better. I didn't really watch too much of the Suns, but I know the stats of Booker and KD.
I think Booker had quite a season because he kind of had to play the point guard role as well. So he was putting up some high assist numbers as well, probably a bit more rebounds than usual, and surprisingly a bit more defensive stats. I had him on my fantasy, so I was closely monitoring his stats as well. But admittedly so not Durant. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Any Kai Soto news?
What was that? Kai Soto?
Kai Soto is the 7'3" Filipino player who's currently playing in
Mhm.
Japan.
Didn't know that he was playing in Japan.
He had apparently, I think his team's still ass, but he's still playing well. I think like that's going to be the news for a long time until until he signs to the G League again. Whenever that may happen. He had 23 points in like back-to-back games, and his team lost both games. So, hey man, he's going through it. Hopefully, he can get out of Japan. come to the NBA, hit the G League. I'll watch you play in the
Hopefully.
G League. That'd be fun.
Which
San
team did he
Diego.
play for in the G League? Oh, San Diego. Oh, nice.
No. I'm trying to recruit him to come back to San Diego.
I'm
Got
pretty
it,
sure he was on
got
the
it.
Magic
Yeah.
Nice.
G League.
Now,
But yes,
interesting.
poor Kai Soto. We might just have to. We have to hold off on the news until he goes somewhere. he all the news. The news has been the same for the past bit of time. He's dominating his league, or at least playing very well in it in Japan. But
Yeah.
sometimes his team wins, sometimes they lose. But maybe when they hit the playoffs, maybe we could keep up on that. But he's doing his best. He's doing his best.
Here's another question for you guys. What do you guys think of Bronny James declaring for the draft?
I mean, okay, so apparently, if he just doesn't get enough traction or whatever, he can just pull out of the draft and just go back to college. Like it's not
Okay.
apparently if he just doesn't if people don't want him, he could just go back. But if someone's gonna take him now, I mean, fuck it, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah.
he is
That's right.
he is the father, he is the son. So
Mm-hmm.
you
The
know,
GM can make anything happen, right?
hey man, if I was gonna say if a team's willing to try for him and whatever, then hey, good for Bronny. Good for him. Get to the league, do your thing, whatever it is. If you have to go back to college to get more touches, get more experience, cool. Either one, I'm not criticizing him either way. Whatever he needs to do, he can do. So,
I mean, I believe he's a late first round pick, if not a second round pick. I mean,
Late first round pick.
I haven't
Lee
watched.
Jim, Lee
I
Jim,
I have not watched Bronny James. He doesn't even have that much tape
he
He
doesn't.
doesn't.
to
He doesn't at
criticize
all.
him or judge him on. So I don't have an opinion on him as a player. So I don't even know. I don't know what to expect if he does go to the NBA next year.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
I mean, who knows? I'm
It'll
it's
be obviously it'll be a fairy tale story, right? Son and
I
father
was
and
gonna
son
say
playing
everyone
playing in the NBA.
people are just more concerned about where LeBron would end up going if he wanted to follow Bronny than where actually
Yeah.
Bronny's actually going.
Yeah.
So hey man, if LeBron leaves the Lakers to go join whatever team it is, that'll be cool. It'll be fun.
Yeah. It will be. It
But
will be cool.
you
Imagine
know,
the Nuggets pick him up, and then LeBron got to join the Nuggets now.
that I mean, it would be
And
border. I mean, be borderline, not borderline. It would be unfair, but it would just be such a one of one scenario that it's like, what are you really gonna do about it? Will the league step in and just be like, no, this is not fair? Would they? I don't know. Maybe they would, but we'll see. Anything else, guys, before we close this one out? You all good?
Not from me. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Appreciate
Hey
you
um,
man, hey,
I
for
mean,
having me.
yeah, thank you for being on
yeah,
here,
that's to
bro.
say, we're more than happy to have you, man. I'll say it's just me and
This is
PJ every week. It's fun to have someone else
absolutely,
here, talk some
of
shit with,
course,
talk some ball with.
absolutely. I was just gonna say, like, shout out to you guys and how me and PJ met was just randomly on a cruise. We were playing like a Mario Kart tournament, and PJ went up to us and
Okay.
said, I had like a clutch turn in one of the laps, and then we just got it, and then we just got chatting about NBA afterwards. We both have old souls, so it was a lot of fun. So if it wasn't for PJ, I wouldn't be here right now. So
Yeah, that's what's up,
yeah,
man.
appreciate that.
Of course,
Shout out to that cruise.
no, I'm always happy because we met.
Absolutely,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Nah,
Hey, man, like I said, we love having you on. We love having guests. If you want to be on later, hey, we would love to have you. I said I'm talking to PJ every week, having somebody fresh, a fresh face, a fresh set of opinions to talk to. It's what I welcome it,
absolutely,
and I'm
man.
sure PJ
It's
PJ
been a it's
feels PJ's feeling the same way. I'm sure. So,
Definitely, 100%.
it's been a pleasure, guys. Been a pleasure, and shout out to you too, Jacob. Thanks for having me, man.
oh, of course. Hey, thank you so much, and to everyone
Of
watching,
course.
hit subscribe, man. Hit subscribe if you're still here at whatever minute hour this is. Hit subscribe. Hit like. I mean, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cousin, tell your friends, tell every ball knower you know. Subscribe, Hooper Soul.
Right,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure.
Subscribe, people soul.
It's been a pleasure. I am your host, Jacob, with my co host, PJ. And our wonderful guest, Caleb. Thank you so much again. We will see
Absolutely.
you
Been our
all.
pleasure.
We will see you all next time. More playoff content coming, by the way. It's the playoffs, man. We got some fun shit planned. This is the best time of the year. Luka,
Yes, sir.
Luka Doncic is Devin Booker's father, baby. Peace out.